live with disability globally. And over 400 million people live with disability in Africa. 40% of Africa's population are made up of people living with disability. 10 to 15% of school-age children in Africa live with disability. Ghana's population is over 32 million, and 8% are people living with disability. How does this impact on persons with disability in terms of policy formulation, marriage and family life, education, healthcare, employment, and so on? For those of us in the disability community, discrimination and stigmatization is the root cause of almost every challenge we face. However, success only comes to those who know how to overcome their challenges and not those who know how to avoid challenges. So join me, the voice of ability and for persons with disability, as I navigate my way through the riveting stories, the unbelievable experiences, and the life-transforming journeys of persons with disability on the Helping Hand TV show. Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of the Helping Hand TV show, where we seek to throw the spotlight on the abilities of persons with disability. And like I say, you're welcome. Welcome to my world, where disability is not inability. Special thanks to DV Unlimited Company Limited and FCC Fasty Chapel, my proud sponsors. And special thanks to you for staying tuned in to your favorite show on TV. Today is going to be educational, inspirational. We are going to do some advocacy. We are celebrating World Lupus Day. I'll go for a break. When I come back, I'll introduce you to my guest. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You are with me, the voice of ability on the air for persons with disability. And today I want to introduce you to someone with so much ability. Some people call her the greatest friend. Others call her the sweet companion. And others still call her the faithful worker. She is dependable, reliable, and adorable. And she's committed to lending you a helping hand anytime, anywhere. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome DV Cleaners.
DV Cleaners Alata Samana Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Aloe Vera Shower Gels, DV Cleaners Body Lotions, DV Cleaners Hair Shampoos, DV Cleaners Hair Conditioners, DV Cleaners Liquid Detergents, DV Cleaners Hand Wash, DV Cleaners Floor Cleaners, DV Cleaners Toilet Cleaners, DV Cleaners Cake Soaps, and now introducing DV Cleaners Hand Sanitizers. For bulk purchase, call us on +233 278 308 246 or +233 244 467 326. DV Cleaners, one of the top most made in Ghana products. DV Cleaners, proudly Ghanaian.
And so remember that anytime you purchase any of the DV Cleaners range of products, you are lending a helping hand to a person with disability, and you are supporting H4P Organization's special advocacy for persons with disability. DV Cleaners,
Nature's finest touch.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show. Today we are looking at World Lupus Day. I have my very good friend here with me. I'm going to introduce my good friend, and then I would let her good friend introduce herself. Mrs. Emma Danso, we call her Sweetness. She's the Executive Director of Autoimmune Foundation. Sweetness, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Bishop. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Always a pleasure to have you. You came with your good friend.
Yes.
Tell us about her.
So, Belinda Ifwa Denta Ojuro and I met in level 100 University of Ghana.
Oh.
Yes, in the College of Agric and Consumer Sciences.
Okay.
And interestingly, after 4 years and in national service, we met again at School of Communication Studies for our masters. So yes, we've been classmates for a long time.
Wow.
And she was very supportive of me when I was launching Oyemam Autoimmune Foundation in 2016.
Okay.
And years later, I found out she also developed an autoimmune condition.
Okay.
And so even though she's professionally working and she's schooling, she's very supportive and volunteers her time to raise awareness, because no one knows when they could develop an autoimmune condition.
Wow. Belinda H4P. Can I just call you Belinda or?
Yes, Belinda Odenta. That's
Great,
right.
great. Yeah, welcome to the Helping Hand
Thank you
TV
very
show.
much.
You are a lecturer at NAFTI.
Yes, please.
How is it going?
It's very interesting. It's exciting. It's stressful and tiring.
I can imagine.
As well. Like on a regular, it's stressful and tiring for anybody. But having an autoimmune condition too and trying to work is not easy. But I've been managing, and by the grace of God, I'm fine.
You are doing so well.
Thank you.
You are doing so well. Let's start off with your campaign, your awareness raising for the World Lupus Day.
Thank you, Bishop. So this year is the 10th anniversary for World Lupus Day.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
So 10th May, 10th anniversary.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's very significant
Okay.
for the World Lupus Federation, which is the global body of over 200 organizations in more than 100 countries that are raising awareness about this often overlooked wicked condition called lupus. And the theme for the year is Make Lupus Visible. And actually this theme has been running, I think, 3 years consecutively, because it is a wicked disease that is always mimicking other conditions. So it's hiding, and we want to hammer it until it is visible, so we know it for what it is, and then we can target it. So the theme is Make Lupus Visible, and a charter was released by the World Lupus Federation, and different organizations contributed to this. Lupus Europe, Asia, so many different people to bring this charter, and it has 4 main principles to improve healthcare for SLE patients. So I would like to read a bit from this. In the past, I would memorize, but now I have admitted that I tend to forget, and I don't want to go back home and say, oh, I should have said this. So I will.
That's okay.
I would like to read this. So the 4 principles for quality
by the way,
care.
that's also a symptom of the lupus thing, right?
Lupus, yes. Bishop, sometimes I would leave home knowing I have locked my door and my gate, and then after I drive a bit, I feel like, no, you didn't lock up. No, you locked up. No, you didn't. And sometimes you'll be so strong, I will have to turn around, go back, and it is locked.
Wow.
I just forgotten that I locked it.
Wow.
And then, or you will lock the door, get down to leave, and then like, oh, I forgot this thing. Then you run back in the house, get it. So it's always it's a source of frustration for you as an individual, because sometimes it's not just you it affects, but it affects other people you are dealing with in a way. And that is one of the ways that is when lupus is, the neuropsychiatric impact of it, how it affects the central nervous system, the forgetfulness, the anxiety, the mood swings. So if you are dealing with somebody who has lupus, you don't always take everything so much to heart, because maybe at that time something which shouldn't have triggered an emotional response or a swing will do that. Thank you. So the 4 principles of quality care for people living with lupus. So the principle 1 says lupus patients deserve recognition and understanding of their early symptoms of lupus to drive timely, accurate diagnosis and assessment, so that they can receive the best care available as soon as possible. This is very important, because the more diagnosis is delayed, the more the disease activity progresses. And sometimes by the time you actually identify that, oh, it's lupus causing this kidney problem, it's too late. The person has either moved into renal failure or something, or they may need dialysis, or even the cost of treatment will be way higher than if it had been diagnosed early, and then they would be on lower dosage of medication, which will cost less. And also, for example, the steroid, prednisolone. I mean, treatment is trying to get to the place where you don't have to take so much steroid.
Okay.
The minimum dosage we are taking here in Ghana is 5 milligrams, which is high.
Very, very.
We don't have 1 milligram tablets, and we've been advocating for 1 milligram tablets, and we don't have it yet. But we are trusting that our policymakers and the relevant stakeholders will be able to do this for us. But if you are taking 5 milligram, if you were diagnosed earlier, you may be put on 10 and then maybe taper down to 5. But if you are diagnosed late, I started with 60 milligram. I've been on as high as 80 milligram before for a long time. And you know, this is the same steroid that damages organs in the body.
Yeah. So
this is very important that they get the early recognition and understanding. And that's also one of the reasons why Oyemam Autoimmune Foundation has been running this lupus awareness campaign. Awareness is key. Yeah. Because for lack of knowledge, people will perish.
So just let me go for a break. When we come back, we'll continue with the reading. We are talking lupus. It's the World Lupus Day. Their 10th anniversary, and it's on the 10th of May. I have Sweetness here. I have Dentar here, and I'll go for a break. When I come back, we'll talk about lupus the more. It's our Helping Hand TV show. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Success is a product of hard and wise work. Here's 60-second success with the Bishop. Stay tuned.
Welcome to 6-Second Success with the Bishop, where I give you success nuggets for a successful life. If you really want to succeed, you must understand the components of success. Success has many components: courage, patience, determination, kindness, love, and many more. But in my opinion, the most important component of success is failure. Most people think that the opposite of success is failure. I don't think so. However, the hard truth is that failure is an integral part of success. Real success is when you move from one failure to another until you learn how to do things differently and better. If you encounter failure in any part of your life and you don't give up, but you press on, that failure becomes an asset that teaches you a valuable lesson on how to do better. To be successful, you must not be afraid to fail, because failure is not the opposite of success, but failure is part of success. It has taken 60 seconds for me to give you this success tip, but it will take more than 60 seconds for you to put it to work in your life. So start your journey to success now.
Welcome back.
All right, welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show. I have Sweetness here, I have Dentar here. Thank you, ladies, for your time.
Thank you. Sure.
Before I come back to you, Sweetness, Dentar.
Yes.
It took a long while before you were diagnosed?
Yes, it did. It took over 10 years.
Oh my goodness.
Because the first time I had a symptom, I went to the hospital. I was told there's nothing wrong with you, go home, because they did the tests they know to do. And at that time, I should say, to be fair, there weren't MRI machines in Ghana at that time. This was sometime in 2003, 2004. We didn't have MRI machines here. For the condition I have, you need an MRI to be able to diagnose it. Yes. So I was just told
so does that mean that when people go to the hospital and they are told there's nothing wrong with you, go back home, they should look at it well?
So naturally, being the Ghanaian that I am, my next conclusion was it has to be spiritual. It can't be natural. I mean, since the doctors can't find any scientific explanation, it has to be spiritual. So I just went home and I lived with it. So fortunately for me, the challenges weren't in the initial stages. The challenges weren't so significant, but it was later on. So, like Sweetness said, when the diagnosis delays, then your condition deteriorates. So my condition deteriorated to the extent that then I couldn't walk.
Wow.
So it was a point at which when I couldn't walk. So this was like now in 2019 thereabout. Then I went back. Now MRI machines are in Ghana. So then I did the MRI scan and then they were able to diagnose me. Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Sweetness, can we continue?
Thank you. One of the important reasons why the awareness is also important is because we do not have enough specialists who...
In Ghana?
Yes.
Okay.
And we need all multidisciplinary care.
Okay.
So it's important that even general practitioners are aware to recognize these symptoms so that they can give early referrals. Okay. Then people can get that. And even if your colleagues, the general public, colleagues, HRs, employers, if you are aware, you will understand that sometimes your employee who is having lupus can go through brain fog. They will be physically present at work, but their mind is not producing anything. Or they will be so fatigued that they will not be able to do, especially people who are working on machinery, or there are males who have lupus. So assuming the male driver is having fatigue in the course of driving your employees to a place. I have blacked out and hit a car before. Instead of meandering, I was going to go straight into a wall. And I've had so many instances of miraculous deliverances on the road that sometimes it makes me empathize with others, because when it's easy to get angry with another driver. Look at why are you driving in the middle of the road? Why are you going this way? But you don't even know the condition of the person behind the wheel. So understanding helps us to develop empathy and then also be able to get early diagnosis. The second principle for this charter says lupus patients deserve access to information about their lupus so that they can play an active role in the management of their condition, minimize flares, and reduce the impact of lupus on their lives. The impact of lupus is so broad, you can't put it in one box because everybody's body is different and the lupus affects everybody differently. For somebody, the lupus might be attacking their digestive system. For another person, it's attacking their skin. For another person, it's attacking their nervous system. Or for somebody, it's pregnancy, making them get preeclampsia or losing their child. There was a research that was done at a major hospital in Ghana, and 7 pregnancies, 3 were lost. That's like a 50%. And at a point, it was official that 48% of the patients that were admitted at the hospital didn't come back home. So it's a 50-50 chance that if you're having SLE, your life is in God's hands. Our doctors are trying hard because they are overwhelmed, because for a population of 33 million with 3 specialists, that's 1 specialist to over 11 million
that's
patients. So it's very important that is done. But with the access to information, we need patients themselves to be concerned. Know that there was one of these ladies in the World Lupus Federation that was actually saying, for her, the doctor is not the driver. You, the patient, you are the driver in the driver's seat. The doctor is the one in the passenger seat telling you, helping you to know, oh no, don't use, like the way we are using Google Maps. You are the one driving. One time a police caught me, and when I said, oh please, the Google Maps said I should pass, the police said, Madam, Google obeto kwano. Google obetimi akase kwana koshepum. I was coming from Kolebuda Beach Road. I said, Google obetimi akase kwana koshepum. And they caught me. I was coming from the hospital. I was fatigued and I didn't know where to turn, whether to take the first traffic or go to the beach side. So when I realized I was going to be lost, the police caught me.
That's interesting. Let me find out from you. Talking about the impact of lupus. You are working. Share some of the impacts.
Okay, all right. So the condition I was diagnosed with is multiple sclerosis, and it affects the central nervous system, and that is also important in lupus because lupus can also affect the central nervous system. So a lot of the symptoms I go through, Sweetness also goes through it. Other lupus patients also go through it. So, for example, there was one day I left home knowing where I was going. Sat in the car, I started driving. Halfway, I was like, me too. Where am I going? Because I'm also a student. So I'm like, am I going to school? Am I going to lecture school? Or am I going to school to teach? Am I going to my workplace to teach? And I was just stuck there. I was like, where am I going? I just could not remember. So going forward, these days, I write everything down. And I have it on my passenger seat. So in case I forget, I just pick it up. And then the other thing is fatigue. Seniors has mentioned fatigue. It happens a lot of the time. And it's not your fault. You're just tired for no reason. You can't sleep 24 hours, so you wake up and you still be tired. Right? So you get to work and you are just so tired. And sometimes also because of the pain, because the conditions, lupus and the condition I have, they all come with pain. Right? So you get to work consistently. Right now, as I'm sitting, I'm in pain.
Wow.
But you can't see because I'm not telling you I'm in pain, right? It's not visible to you, but I'm actually in a lot of pain. And you go to work, you are in a lot of pain, you are fatigued, and you don't know how you can go and tell your boss that, oh, as for today, I'm not, can I? And it gets to a point, they realize at work that you are always giving excuses, so then you try and minimize the excuses. They're like, hey, if you're not well, go and stay at home. You don't want to lose your job because you need the money.
Exactly.
Because the medication is expensive. So you just have to continue and keep pushing yourself and keep working. And then the times when I relapse, so for me, a relapse would look something like, I would probably come in here using a cane. Because when I relapse, walking is like virtually impossible, right?
Wow.
And honestly, during those periods, going to work is not exciting, but I have to. I have to go to work. I can't make excuses. Besides, I also owe it to my students to show up at work, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's a very dicey situation, you know, but you just have to keep going. Yeah.
Sweetness. I'm understanding why you call this a wicked
it's
sickness.
a cruel mystery. So actually this file is from the Lupus Foundation of America. For their logo says, help us solve the cruel mystery. And that's why for the World Lupus Federation, we're unraveling it, unveiling it, and exposing it for what it is, with knowledge to conquer it. And we believe that when everybody is aware, you can help your neighbor identify their symptoms, and you can also do the right thing so you don't trigger, because the triggers of lupus are abundant in today's world. Yes.
But how would you know what exactly is going to trigger it?
You never know.
You don't know.
Wow.
It could be, for somebody, it could be the broken heart.
Oh, really?
A broken relation, because the emotional stress, any kind of stress. So for somebody, it could be losing a loved one, the grieving. So we are blessed to have a counselor, a professional counselor, and so give grief support to people. And then another thing you go through when you have these autoimmune conditions is depression, because there's no cure. The medications are expensive. NHI does not cover our key relevant medications, and so we've been advocating to put our medications on the essential drug list so that we can also have some relief. So with all these things, initially when you have a bad flare and everybody thinks you're going to die, everybody rallies him. But after a while, okay, manage, you know, so they don't know that. You go through that. For me, having resigned from my job over 10 years now, I see people progress in the career field, in the corporate world, and I know I am capable. Sometimes I've had offers that I wanted to do, but I'm unsure of myself. It is when you wake up in the morning and then you are feeling so much pain and you can't step, what do you do? And you don't want to go on the job with a very good CV, and then because they don't understand your condition, they feel like, look at their posh CV and look at today. I've had people come to tell me that their bosses years later came back to apologize to them that when you were saying these things, I thought you were being lazy. So this, you easily get stigmatized. And just to add to what she said, I will write all my passwords and everything in the book. Then when I'm looking for the book, I don't know where the book is. Then, like, I printed this thing out and now I'm looking for it. I can't find it and I get frustrated. And sometimes if you're a parent with young children, if you're not careful, when your child calls you, innocent as the call may be, you return in a way that the child does not deserve.
Because
and you feel bad as a mother.
I noted your demeanor when you said you printed it but you can't find it in your car.
Yes, but by the time I finish and I go, it will be there.
Wow.
It will be hiding somewhere. Wow. There's a document I was looking for that I needed to, and the deadline was approaching. I looked and looked and looked, I couldn't find. There was a time that my phone was hidden somewhere in my car for 2 months. So assuming that, because I looked for the car, I couldn't find it. My husband went somewhere with the car went to other places. So the phone had slid in the corner somewhere. So as in people are calling you and all of that, they say this woman doesn't pick up, or I sent you WhatsApp and you didn't respond. When you understand these things, you will take it like the Bible has told us that we should all consider each other as better than ourselves. So that when somebody is overcoming a fault, you admonish the person with meekness and always. So I've learned, understanding my own shortcomings, to be more empathetic. And even when I get angry, then I take a step back and but you know already, you yourself, you know you're a culprit, so don't take it so hard on others. That does not mean that you want to settle for mediocrity, but you know how to balance yourself so you don't be getting
let me go for a break. When you come back, I would ask you how difficult then this is going to be for relationships, because I'm listening to you, I'm listening to Denta, and I'm thinking, oh my God. Let me go for a break. I would ask you that. Well, we are still on the Helping Hand TV show. We are talking World Lupus Day. We are looking at autoimmune diseases. Let's go for a break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
It's the music segment on the Helping Hand TV show.
come back.
Yeah, welcome back to the Helping Hand TV show. We are discussing lupus. It's World Lupus Day, and I have Sweetness, Executive Director of Oyemam Autoimmune Foundation, and the entire. She's a lecturer at NAFTI. They are sharing their lives with us, their stories with us. Ladies, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Basho.
I know you have some more to read, but I'm listening to you and I want to find out, how are you managing with relating with people? How is this? It's going to be frustrating.
It is frustrating. So, Bishop, you are an Accra. So I'm going to cite an Accra example.
Okay.
So I was approached by one of my year group members that, hey, it's time for elections. Won't you stand for this position? I'm like, with my life, how can I accept another extra responsibility? I can't. Then he came to offer another position. I'm like, no, I'm not interested. That's not part of my worries at all. I said, okay, send me the constitution. Okay. He sends the constitution. I looked at, okay, now he's saying I should do secretary. So I looked at, oh, secretaries, this is something, I'm a communications person. This is not, okay, I'll do it. And then I told myself, I don't have energy for campaign. So if anybody else stands, I'm out. And then I go for it and nobody stands. So I went, right? That's good. Then it's time for meetings. It's time for things. Yeah. And sometimes the challenges come because what I would have used maybe 1 or 2 hours to do, now I'm sitting there and my mind is not producing. Okay. So I'm spending longer hours. Yeah. But maybe to the other person, oh, this is just a letter she could have just written in a short time. So they don't see the effort and the time I spent to do what
they might even think you are not competent for that.
And then it is easy for somebody to say, when you were standing for the post, you didn't know what it entails. Yeah. And make other comments without really understanding, or maybe it's you have to do something and then the person just sends you a WhatsApp message and assumes that they've sent WhatsApp, so you should have seen it, you should have done it, or you tell them, no, today so this year I've had to do some rounds seeing my GP and other things. You say that they be out hospital, they be not or the hospital, excuse or something, but you really don't know that sometimes even by the time you finish driving and go to the house, you are out. So this thing has happened several times. I take my children to school and then some way, somehow I get a migraine right there in the school. Wow. And then when sometimes when it's so intense, I lose balance. Okay. I need to find somewhere. I can't open my eyes and I can't also find what I'm trying to look to lean on. So the last one that happened, I saw two mothers rushing towards me, and then another one said, my son was trying to say something. I can't pay attention to my son because I'm going through intense pain. And so when they came and got me, they're trying to take me back to my car, and I'm trying to let them, my son is saying something, listen to him. But they're like, oh, he'll be fine. They take me back to my car and I'm like, okay, I'm telling myself, well, I've had so many migraines. By the grace of God, I've been fine. So late after some time. So I'm trying to tell them, after I rest a bit, I can do that. No, you will not drive. You will not drive. We'll find a driver for you to take you to your house. So another time I go back to the school, I wear caps. And then my glasses was like this. And I felt a sharp one here. And I'm like, oh, so today, because I had been praying to God and I said, Lord, show me why every day I get this migraine at this particular place around this time. So when I did this and I felt a sharp one, I said, oh, son, you are the culprit. The sunlight going into my eyes strikes that migraine. So now I'm like, okay, the Bible says the sun shall not smite me by day, nor the moon by night. You are breaching the law. You are not supposed to smite me. But at the end of the day, I have also prayed and asked God. So he has shown me the cause of my migraines at that particular time. So now when you are going, you have to make sure that I'm having my glasses on, my dark on, my cap is on, I'm protected. And that is why we're saying important to be aware. Because if you know that I get these skin reactions when I eat fermented corn,
Okay.
Then you stay away from it. Then you don't have to trouble God with certain kind of prayers. The trouble you are troubling God with is, God, show me the cause so I can deal with it. Because there's knowledge in everything.
Yeah.
If you know that going to enjoy some food with some fried chicken with all those greasy things is going to make you have a certain problem, and you can't help the temptation,
and you're
get it. When you get it, you peel the skin off, make sure you get some good tissue and clean all that and eat the meat, not the greasy. But I've told some people that they're like, oh, greasy, you want you get, so this knowledge is very important. And like Bishop, you also said, with daily interactions with people, especially relationships, in these days where we are not placing so much emphasis on the word of God concerning relationships. People are engaged are breaking. People are married are breaking. Or people will say, okay, since my wife is always fatigued and she cannot give me sex, let me find an alternative. Since I don't want to leave my wife, but I have to satisfy my needs. And also, this also makes us realize that our caregivers, our fiancés, our husbands, siblings, also need care. Not because they need the medicine, but they go through stress. Assuming I'm not able to fulfill my marital duties, my husband, God bless him, and I'm very grateful to have him. Sometimes I'll give him fruits and meal for a long time because I'm too tired to cook. And because he's understanding, sometimes we will order the food. So order soup, order stew, order those things. And he knows how I cook because I do. In fact, when I'm putting salt in food, it's not because I want you to taste the salt. I just do this so that my mind will tell me that I put salt in it. But when you're eating it, you probably not taste anything. So because he's now used to that, now when he eats other foods, he said, it's salty, but maybe the other people eating it don't feel the salt. But this is how, and I put my turmeric and rosemary, all my natural spices in there. And because I want to be healthy, I'm trying to use coconut oil. So by force, I don't want to cook twice. So you have to eat coconut oil. So one day he said, I'm hungry. Is there anything to eat? That is not coconut oil.
I can understand.
So I'm trying. So now, how do I compromise to meet him halfway? Because I don't want to eat maybe the soybean oil. I just want to do coconut oil. But because I can cook twice, okay, then sometimes I'll eat a bit of this, and sometimes he will also eat a bit of mine.
So let me come to you. You are a lecturer.
Yes.
I'm imagining the episodes you have with your work, your students. How are you managing it, and do they even understand?
Okay, so the thing is, sometimes I try to incorporate some awareness into my lecturing. So fortunately for me, there was a time when I was supposed to teach science communication. So then I started talking about autoimmune conditions. And interestingly enough, not a single one of them even knew what autoimmune condition is. They had never heard of lupus. They'd never heard of any autoimmune condition. So I started trying to, gradually, talk to them about it. And then, interestingly enough, I think 2 years ago, I actually had a student with an autoimmune condition. She had rheumatoid arthritis. So like Sweetness said, there are over 80 different types. So what Sweetness has is lupus, what I have is multiple sclerosis, and this student has rheumatoid arthritis, right? So then I was like, okay, I can use this student to help me even do more advocacy, more awareness creation. So now I'll talk to, so she's always in class, and rheumatoid arthritis is the joints. So she's always having, pain in her joints, and her joints are swelling and all of that. So she comes to class, sometimes she can't walk, sometimes she just can't do anything. The fatigue thing comes in. And then I told her that, look, when you see me, I'm standing here lecturing, suddenly I just sit down and it's looking like, why is Madam sitting down? What she's going through, that's what I also go through. And I try to explain it to them. The challenge usually comes from my bosses at work, And like I said, a lot of the symptoms of all autoimmune conditions, so lupus as well, they are invisible. We refer to them as invisible disabilities, all right? And there are sometimes that whatever you're going through would be visible. So the time I remember I couldn't walk and I had to use a cane. I was using a cane to work, and my bosses told me, they were like, now sympathizing. Oh, Dental, what's wrong with you? Oh, sorry. Oh, you'll be fine. Then I got fine. I threw the cane somewhere. I was walking around. But you said you have some condition, but you don't look sick. You look very okay. Meanwhile, I'm still going through it, so. But they don't really understand, and it's difficult. And Tina's also mentioned this earlier about energy. So I try to regulate what I do. I try to prioritize. So right now, my number one priority is my work. So I reserve all my energy for that. So then I don't have energy for other things. Right? So unlike Sinus, who is married, I'm not married. So for a very long period, I actually stayed single because I don't have that kind of energy physically and mentally to maintain a relationship. So I decided, okay, let me just focus on my work. I'm also in school. Let me focus on my school. Maybe after school, I might get a little energy left, and then I can think about a relationship. But for now, dear,
I can imagine. Well, thank you so much for joining me, the voice of ability and for persons with disability, on this special edition of the Helping Hand TV show. We are celebrating World Lupus Day, and this is our pre-awareness raising campaign. I want to say special thanks to Mrs. Imadanso Sweetness, the Executive Director of Oyemam Autoimmune Foundation, and Belinda Ifwa Denta Udro. She's a lecturer at NAFTI. They have been my special guests, but because of time, we have to end it here. But I promise to bring you the continuation of this very insightful and interesting discussion same time next week. And so special thanks to DV Unlimited Company Limited, FCC, Varsity Chapel, my proud sponsors, and special thanks to you for always tuning in to your favorite show on TV, the Helping Hand TV show. Special thanks to all those who contribute to H4P, to the mobile money system. It goes a long way to help us do what we do. H4P is 14 years old, which means that it's been 14 years of bringing dignity to disability. Thank you. If you are not yet part of those who contribute to H4P, to the mobile money system, prayerfully think through it and then be part of those who help us through the mobile money system. Well, we'll draw the curtains here, and then I'll bring you the continuation of this very insightful interview same time next week. Until then, remember, disability is not inability. Take care of yourselves, and God richly bless you.